Well, this is an interesting thing to walk in on, right? Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Ekamak. We have to clear the Reflectile Cath. Do I look like I care? Not really. Feel free to remove your helmets when on standby at night, remain fully geared, etc., etc. There's no time lock on this one, it's a standard fare. The downside is that I didn't actually prepare all of my shards, so we gotta fix that. Wow, they gave us almost 400 and we already had a couple in advance.
자, 좀 지나갈게요. 대리결투로 온 건 아니니까 하시던 거 계속 하셔도 된답니다. 여기 유포면 하나요.
Banned Don Quixote at the start, people pointed that out, but also I'm willing to bet that this guy in the background is about to come in and pick a fight with Hong Lu because we beat him up. So, Cinq Association East Section 3 Hong Lu. If target does not have Nerve Strike, gain a Clash Power. Rolls a 5 plus 7, 12, but it'll be a 13 if he does have a Clash. So basically this skill is rolling 1 Clash Power by default. The fact that it has Nerve Strike specifying different parts is kind of interesting. If target has 3 plus Nerve Strike from Hong Lu, reuse the coin. On Clash Wind, gain a Poise. Gain Poise count equal to Nerve Strike on target. Gain a Poise count on hit, inflict a burn. If target has 2 plus Nerve Strike Hong Lu, reuse the coin. We're definitely going to need that Clash Wind then. 3 stacks of Hong Lu Clash means that it's 4 poise count. Reuse it to make the 3 coins. So it does actually... Oh, actually it has 3 poise count here. He does look to be good with his poise count at the moment. If this unit's speed is faster than the attacker by 2 or more, gain a coin power. Gain 2 poise count at combat start once per turn. He probably wants a spare skill slot just so he can use this to keep up. It doesn't sound stable to me for some reason, but I guess we'll see later. Speed 3 to 6, 3 to 7. Fajin. If this unit's speed is faster than the target by 2 or more, gain a coin power. Okay. On reuse, inflict an extra burn. If this unit's speed is faster than the target, gain coin power based on the speed difference. It rolls a 15, 17, 19. Gain 2 poise count. Ooh, now that's a lot more reliable. And a burn, inflict a burn count. If target has reuse, reusing inflict defense level down equal to Nerve Strike. Once per turn. On Clash Wind, if target has Nerve Strike, inflict a Nerve Strike. Okay. Turn end. Gain a haste for every 5 poise potency on self. Deal burn potency damage on crit. Actually, wait. Right, a dual witnessed. Upon entering the encounter for the first time, gain Witnessed Eastern Cinq, equal to the number of Cinq Association identities set as backup or support. Max 3, include defeated units. Against the target, base attack skill hit last turn. Inflict a Nerve Strike next turn. Which means that if they already have Nerve Strike, then you immediately jump to 3 stacks. Gotcha. Offense level plus 3 for the stack. At 2+ stack, base skills gain more poise. At 3 stack, base skills gain more poise count. It's not even the middle of the night. It's still afternoon. Okay, for Uptie 3, raise the base speed from 3 to 7 to 4 to 7. Take the hit to the last blow, please. If this unit's speed is faster than the target's by 2 or more, gain a coin power. Rolls a 16. Rolls a 19 with the conditional. Gain 3 poise, nerve strike, poise count equal to nerve strike on the target. Inflict a burn, and deal poise on self plus burn. Inflict a burn count. On crit, inflict defense level down. If target is nerve strike, reuse this coin. On reuse, deal wrath damage equal to burn on target times 2% of this coin's final damage to a maximum of 40%. Okay, this is the poise count leak. When he reaches that nerve strike, it's going to start eating through his charges. Fajin. If this unit's speed is faster than the target by 2 or more, gain a coin power. If target does not have nerve strike, clash power. Gain a poise count. Inflict a burn, reuse the coin. Raise the base power. Gain a support passive. One ally with the fastest speed. On clash win against enemies that have burn or unique burn, inflict bind next turn. If target is 4 or less burn count, also inflict 1 burn count. If they have 5+ burn count, also inflict 3 burn.
자, 지금부터는 싱크가 이 결투를 결단한답니다. 이대로 가면 당신 멱살부터 녹아내릴 텐데 항복하시겠나요?
Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess that's the way it is. The way it is. Things haven't really changed much since then. What's more important, though, was finding new material for my next article. Oh, whoa, watch your head! I appreciate your concern, but it is really unnecessary. You should be watching out for yourself, actually. I sure hope a stray utensil from all the fighting going around doesn't come flying straight at you. I mentioned this in my last article, but growing up I used to work out a lot at the association gym, so... that one almost got you. Thanks. It wasn't rare to see utensils, insults, and, with rare but meaningful frequency, bits and bowls of food flying across the hall in this particularly pugnacious Kazan, located in the eastern part of the city. Amidst the chaos sat 2 people with a table between them, both looking quite unbothered by the perpetual chaos that surrounded them. On one side of the table was an audio recorder in tow, a reporter who had once interviewed a child under the Cinq Association Eastern Branch's employ. On the other was once again a fixer working under the same employer, though it was a different child this time. I still have it set to my stream mode. I do this every time. Every time I have my Final Fantasy stream, and then I forget to set things back for Let's Play content. The 2 continued to chat, sipping cheap tea between each exchange. Speaking of, though, I thought you'd already conducted an interview with a member of the Cinq East. Miss Don Quixote, I believe. Hard to forget since she'd been shoving that particular issue of my magazine in my face until I read your article in front of her. Okay, this is back to my Let's Play mode. Oh yeah, I did, the article actually did much better than any of us could have expected, and, well, I'm sure you know what followed. They wanted you to do a follow-up story because of its popularity. With a deep sigh and a shake of the head, the interviewer raised her arms in a gesture of exasperation before taking a long sip from her teacup. She'd already written a story about this branch in her last article, made it a special feature even. Everything she thought people might want to know about the Cinq East she crammed into the feature page. But instructions from the higher-ups being what they are, her job today wasn't to write a journalistic masterpiece, but to squeeze this subject dry for anything that could be even remotely interesting to the readers. Now she was mulling over one miserable question: where should she even begin? The tricks of digging for trifling gossip like the cheap tabloid reporters do. That kind of thing wasn't her style, not to mention that it went against her journalistic integrity. That must be troublesome. Well, I've an idea then. The child didn't appear offended, however. He smiled gently as though he had expected the interviewer's dilemma, and reached into his belongings, and produced a magazine issue. That's our magazine. I just thought it was only polite to get an idea of the person who will be interviewing me. That's very considerate of you. It's this page here, right? The Cinq as the cultural lodestone, a journey through the East and West. You know, I never thought about it, but it's a little more embarrassing than I thought it'd be to have someone read my title out loud. Your article really went into depth about us, but some of these might not be entirely correct. Really? Oh, that's not good. We're gonna have to print a retraction. Oh no, it's not like that. Just parts that might seem like a bit of a generalization about my section and colleagues. Maybe elaborating on some of those finer points could enrich the article as a whole and satisfy your readers at the same time. The interviewer barely managed to hold her arms back from propelling forward and vigorously shaking the child's hand. The circumstances of her journalistic career may indeed be dire today, but her pride as a reporter simply would not allow her to rely so shamelessly upon the interviewee she had come to interview. I know this is kind of out of the blue, but have you ever considered working in journalism? Some way down the line, if you ever want to retire from association work, we'd be happy to have you. You know, that's actually a thing. Are we? This is clearly just a mouthpiece to give us some backstory into these generic IDs. But maybe at some point we could have a journalist ID, because surely in a place like the city, you've got to have some upgrades of your own, right? Heck, I'm surprised it wasn't an association that did it. I've got to admit, you certainly have the talent. I don't know, maybe, who knows what the future holds? Hey, I'm gonna hold you to that maybe when that future comes, okay? Laughing off her half-joking, half-serious recruitment effort, she hit the record button on her device. Okay then, let's start from the parts you thought weren't entirely correct. Sure thing, let's see. So, about the part where you wrote, Cinq fixes the battle fiend's blood-boiling, body itching to duel at the sight of violence. It kind of leaves a lot of room for misunderstanding, doesn't it? Oh, that's... the editor's office asked me to give them something eye-catching as the subheading. If you read a little further, you can see that I also wrote something about how the Cinq fixes have the soul of the East, burning with the flame of justice, quenched only by its enactment, and so and so. It was Don Quixote that she was interviewing. Oh, of course, I've read that part too. But I'd like to clarify that the burning with the flame of justice part is uniquely applicable to Miss Don Quixote. Ah. Let's see. Oh, here it is. At the end of each duel, a Cinq fixer must raise the right arm and strike a victorious pose. I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that's another thing uniquely applicable to... Ah. Of course, it's basically dueling etiquette to state your name and affiliation at the behest of each match. That one's universally applicable. Scratch, scratch. As the minutes crawled by, more and more strike-throughs began filling the poor reporter's notebook. Yeah, the reporter had suspected that some of Don Quixote's claims might have been a tad exaggerated, giving her uncannily over-enthusiastic demeanor. But it was also true that the fix had showcased a duel nothing short of spectacular and answered every interview question with unwavering confidence. The reporter pressed the tip of her pen into her furrowed brow. Quite the understandable reaction, as she just realised that a good chunk of the answers her past interviewee had given were, in fact, mere exaggerations. She pressed down the urge to sigh in frustration. She was professional after all, couldn't be seen getting emotional in the presence of an interviewee. I'm getting a feeling this won't be a follow-up story so much as an entire special feature for a public apology. Oh, but technically you didn't write any lies in your story. You need only add one sentence to the bottom of your article. Disclaimer. Some details may only apply to Miss Don Quixote. There, problem solved. Thank you. I'll make sure to do that. And regarding the part about our fees, Don Quixote charges twice the usual rate for emergency contracts, doesn't she? Oh, come on. She's got her own rules about fees too. I mean, passion for justice notwithstanding, she seemed really strict about matters of coin. I took that as proof of her professionalism, separating business from personal conviction. It puts us in a rather difficult position when she... Oh wait, don't tell me she's been embezzling contract fees with non-existent surcharges? Charges the clients so little. Oh. Sometimes she even handles contracts free of charge just because she feels sorry for the client. And as the stand-in accountant, I'm the one who has to deal with that. Ever since your story came out, we've been receiving multiple complaints about overcharging, so I'd really appreciate it if you could clear that up. I'm so sorry about that. I'll amend that part and have the new article published ASAP. Yeah, it did sound off for a moment, but no, that's what it is. Don Quixote will charge more if she thinks you don't deserve it. Which was kind of a thing in her T-core identity, wasn't it? There's no need to apologize. The child raised his teacup without a care in the world, then tipped it back and drained it in one easy gulp. Then he said, "Come to think of it, wouldn't readers wonder exactly how much Section 3 charges for our contracts?" And rose from his seat in a graceful motion. Alright, that's quite enough. Huh? You had a contract here? Yep, look over there. Do you see that person signaling to me with his palm? For clients who find it difficult to state their requests verbally, Cinq Association's East Section also accepts contracts via hand signals. Oh, this'll be an interesting bit of trivia to add to the article. It could prove useful to quite a lot of readers. Please don't forget to add that hand signal communicating commissions charge a surcharge of 1.5 times the usual rates. Ah. You little... What the hell? Coward, you just can't start wailing away without even stating your name and affiliation. Oh, do excuse me for that. Hand signal commissions carry an additional fee, so dueling etiquette can be dispensed for a single clash. Now that the first blow has been traded, allow me to introduce myself. Hong Lu of Cinq East Section 3, here to act as proxy for the duel. I look forward to facing you. My thanks to you. I'll pay whatever you ask. Teach that insolent cur a lesson. Happy to receive the contract. Rush 3 fee is 3.7 times the base contract fee. Fine, I came prepared. The pamphlet did mention that rush fees are a standard surcharge. What else? Right, you all so called upon me while I was on break, so that's an off-duty commission fee added. There's more! And it just so happens this is a Category 3 commercial establishment, so there's a surcharge for compensation. I mean, it's only natural, isn't it? The Cinq Association will compensate the proprietor for anything broken during the fight. That fund has to come from the client who commissioned the duel in the first place. It's not as bad as it sounds. First-time clients get a 50% discount. Though only up to a maximum of 10,000 on, of course. Don't call it 50% then! Joke's on you for picking a fight in here. Hey, Master Fixer. Emptying that war son's pockets is good enough of a comeback for me. I won't fight back, so just make it quick, will ya? Why, thank you! That'll make things so much simpler for the both of us. Wait, so he's going bankrupt and the other guy's going, yeah, whatever, I'm not gonna fight you on this, just strike me once and be done with it. Before we begin, please note that the client may choose to apply a rider to the contract and extend the duration of the duel. That'll of course subject you to an additional hour-long beating at max. I didn't know there was an option like that. Are you interested? This Kazan was quickly becoming a site of a cutthroat bargaining with surcharges of positively staggering proportions. The interviewer, who had caught herself watching the spectacle unfold with her mouth agape, sat herself upright at her table and began to write. The rustling of pages, the scribbling of the pen, a fresh note for as many details as possible. This time, she'll note every last detail of how a fixer of the city goes about fixing both his client's contract and the opponent he is to duel. Honestly, maybe I should just have left it on stream mode because it makes it easier to edit. So, one final uptie. Clash power +1 for every 6 poise on self and burn on target. But it doesn't boost the coin power. Which makes sense because this has a coin reuse tied to it. Virulent Flame Palm. If this unit's speed is faster than the target's, gain coin power based on speed difference. Coin power, bonus 23. Gain final power for poise and burn. Raise the base power of the skill 3. Please take the hit to the last blow, please. If this unit's speed is faster than the target's by 2 or more, coin power +1. At 6 plus poison self and burn on target, gain a coin power. Gain 5 poise. Gain poise count equal to nerf strike on loot on target. 2 burn, 30% cap, burn count. Okay, so his poise, he does not have stable burn. That's the problem. His burn count isn't self-sustaining. We get 2 burn count out of his skill 3, and well, I suppose if you're hitting someone that has all the nerf strikes, then it works, but Light as a tuft of cloud. Raise the base power. We don't see that one that often. And change it to Wrath Affinity. Gain 3 poise count at turn start. Clash win. Stacks of nerve strike are preserved. I see. Gain haste next turn for every 3 poise potency on self. Increase max cap of the burn potency for every nerve strike on loot on the target. His sanity mechanics are the same as always. Ah, okay, so this is the button that I was wondering about the other day. If we click this, then we can see the order that these Uptie stories happen in. Now here's the question. Oh boy, okay, so what sort of nonsense do you have for us? It doesn't look like there's that much difference between phases, guys. Give Savage Tiger Mark. Give Savage Tiger Mark. If an identity is on the field, remove a stagger threshold and gain base offense level and defense level. Effect does not stack. If an identity on resonance, gain ego resource for the respective affinity. Identity skills that are gluttony or inflict rupture deal extra damage. When an identity clashes with an enemy, gain clash power for every 2 bind on the target. Okay, they're tuning up our offense and defense level to match his. Gotcha. Phase 2. If an identity is on the field, remove it. Identity skills that are Wrath or Burn or Unique Burn deal extra damage. Okay, so we need Rupture, we need a Rupture team, and then we need a Wrath team. Max potency cap for Burn, Bleed, Tremor, Rupture, and Sinking 30, and count caps at 10. This unit and all sinners change SP to 30. For minus coins, minus 30, gain... I'm guessing that... Team 1 encounter. Change SP to 30, gain 3 resources for all affinities. When activating Tiantoi Star, enter phase 2 immediately. Entering the new phase does not reset effects on this unit. Team 2 and 3. Oh, wait. Based on HP percentages, passive effects below are considered to have activated in the order listed. Tiger Mark Reload at 85%. Tiger Mark Round Reload Lei Hang at 85%. Lei Hang and Tatui Star at 66%. At 50% or lower, reload. Lei Hang, Tiantoi Star, Lei Hang, Pinky's Tiantoi Star. When flipping a coin that consumes Tiger Mark, if he doesn't have Tiger Mark, it does not cancel attacks. And does not cancel attacks, but Burn and Burn count does not activate. In a clash, inflict Tremor count 3 times per turn against the same target. At encounter start and at turn start upon gaining a new pattern. Slash resistance counts as 1.5 or higher. Gain the effects of Fixed Panic. Reset SP to 45! Screw you! Chosen Prey. Inflict prey against a sinner that deals lots of damage. After Lei Hang attacks the sinner that has prey, inflict SP down and clash power down. If the target is defeated, activate it twice. On unopposed attacks, inflict fragile and deal extra damage. Skill coins that spend Tiger Mark Ground are dealing extra damage and inflicting defense level down. Does not affect when equipping a defensive skill. Combat start. Based on speed value, heal SP. Gain speed value slash damage up. If this unit has 3 bind, cannot activate. Gain defense level down equal to bind, up to 9. At the end of turn, reload and gain a new pattern. If this unit is staggered, recover. Gain a new pattern next turn at 85% or less. Tangle Cleaver every 3rd turn. Bonus speed whenever this uses the attack. Gain inner strength. At 66%, enter a new phase. Gain Tiantui Star. Gain 18 Savage Tiger Marks immediately. When spending all Savage Tiger Mark rounds, convert to Tiger Mark round. Supply 2 Stern Soldato of the Thumb. Have them supply this unit with the Savage Tiger Mark round. At 50%, replace Tangle Cleaver with Perfected Flurry of Blades. Convert Inner Strength to Extreme Strength Tiantui to Shin Tiantui Star. On Clash lose stacks gained from this clash. Gain 3 stacks when hitting someone with an unopposed attack. Gain haste based on the total stack consumed. Deal HP percentage damage to targets with high HP percentages. Gain attack power up, damage up, and fragile. Or gain a plus coin boost at panic. Increase after winning a clash. Increase after defeating an enemy, regardless of their level. Decrease by 4 on clash lose. I hate how much the game is going into, yeah, we're just going to inflict count on unbreakable skills, because that's garbage. We should be getting... These effects should be on hit without cracking. Just straight up. Tangle Cleaver. Consume all inner strength on self. Gain attack weight for every stack consumed. Gain final power at 25 stacks if we have burn and tremor. Clash lose. Gain a paralyze. This skill's damage cannot affect stagger. Deal 80% less damage. Inflict half the potency and count for burn and tremor. Reload. If we have Savage Tiger Mark rounds, reload Tactical instead. Spend all Tiger Mark round. Inflict burn, burn count, tremor, and tremor count by Tiger Mark rounds spent. Trigger amplitude conversion on hit without cracking, and they made sure to highlight this. Trigger 3 tremor bursts, then reduce tremor count by 3. This is the same problem that I have with sinking. All these unbreakable sinking coins is inflict sinking effects on the target. But don't worry, we don't actually expect... Don't worry, it won't trigger sinking. It'll just keep stacking it up until they finally win the clash and fuck you over. It's so annoying. Prioritize targets with prey. Can clash regardless of speed. Cannot stagger before using this skill. Consume all... Fuck this. Consume all inner strength on self. If this unit consumed a lot, then gain attack weight. Deal less damage, gain 6 paralyze, reload or reload tactical. End the turn. I hate this as well because there are so many... It's very anti-index, not that we'll be using index here. Trigger 5 tremor bursts, reduce tremor count by 5. Flashball counter. Lose a Tiger Mark. Why only 1 Tiger Mark round? Where's the thing that tells me about when it hits the halfway? 85% or less HP, or at the end of turn 2. Where's the thing about passives? It was on this screen, right? No, it wasn't. Okay, Tiantui Star. So when we drop him to 66% of his HP, that's when the fight ends and it jumps over to Team 2. Anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed this little book club. I'm going to have to figure out how I want to tackle this team. Until next time, guys, take care. I'll see you all around. They should not have a cap on the count. Stick it on the potencies if you want, but when you put it on the count, then it stops being fun.